Good morning, U.S. history. Uh, Hi, how's everyone doing? Today I'll just be showing you guys what we'll be doing today. So first off, good morning. I'm going to be showing you guys how to analyze a primary source using OPVL. So we took notes on what OPVL actually is yesterday and the key components of OPVL, origin, purpose, value, and limitations. But today I'm going to be demonstrating to you guys in this YouTube video I'm making right now how to actually use OPVL to analyze a primary source. This video is going to be short-ish, it's going to be less than 15 minutes for sure. So you're just going to watch this video and then spend the rest of your time today trying it out for yourself with the other two sources. You're just going to choose one. You don't have to do both. You can do both if you want to be an all-star, but just do at least one. And then you're going to be turning in your OPVL note sheet at the end of the class period in the classwork bar. It's going to be the first assignment. And then just email me with any questions. So what you're going to need for this class, I've already linked here, and then I'm going to put the last YouTube video right here, and then that's where you guys are going to have it. But you're going to need this, the intro to working with primary sources, because you have your primary sources here. And you're going to need your OPVL note sheet that you utilized yesterday. This is what you're going to be turning in for real at the end of class. So yesterday you saw my YouTube video and you took notes on like the definition, useful questions, and places to look for origin, purpose, value, and limitations. But today you're going to be working on the primary source notes portion of this. Again, you probably filed and made a copy of it, so it's going to be in your drive. I just put this here for your reference, or if you didn't manage to get this done yesterday, you want to watch the video from yesterday, finish that part, and then watch the video from today to work on this part, the primary source notes part. As you can see in this chart, you have origin, purpose, value, and limitations. You're going to be filling those in, and I'll demonstrate how, and you'll be using these sources. Again, you find these sources by clicking this link. This web page will open. You scroll down to material, and you see primary sources, 13th Amendment, Mississippi Black Codes and Freedmen's Bureau image. 13th Amendment, Mississippi Black Codes, Freedmen's Bureau image. They're right there for you. So I'm going to go to File and make a copy because I promised you guys I would be demonstrating how to do an OPVL of a source. And I'll be doing the 13th Amendment for you guys. So feel free to pause the video and copy along because I'll fill out the first portion for you. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm showing you how to actually do an OPVL. So that you can kind of see a successful strategy in a way that I go about it. So let's just get started. So I'm ready. I'm going to click the primary source 13th Amendment because that's the one I'm going to work on. It's going to open me to a web page. It says transcript of the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, abolition of slavery, 1865. Okay, so let's see, origin. I believe if I go back to the slideshow from yesterday as well, I'll also utilize the slideshow, little presentation I gave to you guys to help you do this. But I should be looking for the era, location, and person from which the document came from. I should ask myself where was the source created, who created the source, and when was the source created. And that's what I should put into my origin box. So let's see, who created this document? Let's see. It was passed by Congress. So who? Congress created this amendment. So it's like a law. Okay. So it's Congress created a law in 1865. In 1865. And because Congress made it, our federal government, then we know that this was passed in Washington, D.C. That's where our federal government resides. So we got the who, Congress. We got the when, 1865. We got the where, Washington, D.C. We also have the medium, or what the document actually is. It's a law. This is another thing that you guys can think about for the origin portion, which I'd highly recommend. If it's a newspaper article, say a newspaper article. If it's a speech, say a speech. Let's see what the purpose of the document is. So usually what did I say for the purpose? Useful places to look. First paragraph or last paragraph in a document. This does not always hold true. Let's try to gain the purpose of this document. Okay, so it's about the abolition of U.S. slavery. Okay, in this first section it says neither slavery nor involuntary service except blah 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 shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. And then Congress has the power to enforce this law. So, like, if people don't follow this law, the federal government has the right to enforce this law, maybe like arrest someone. They don't really get super specific, but they are allowed to enforce the idea that slavery is now illegal. So maybe if you have slaves, maybe Congress is allowed to arrest you. Not very specific, but it looks like the main idea from this document, as we can see from the first sentence right here, is that slavery is now illegal within the United States. So that's the purpose. Again, purpose. Why was this document created for the people at the time? So the reason why this document was made was to eliminate the legality of slavery within the U.S. while also giving Congress the power to enforce such a law. Awesome. It's really all you need. You can talk about what the main idea of the author was, which is eliminating slavery and giving Congress the power to do so. And then who was the author writing for? Again, just kind of like the U.S. population. So we can also write that as well. This law went across all portions of the U.S. So there was no state in which slavery was legal. This law got rid of slavery for all Americans in all states of the United States. The 13th Amendment in 1865. Awesome. So the next thing we're going to go to is value, and the final thing we're going to go to is limitations. So value. Let's recall, again, the usefulness of the document under study for the historian. What questions should I ask myself? What did this document teach me about the period I'm studying? And what is the reputation of the creator of the document? It's Congress, so we don't really have to do that part. Well, what did this document, this is the most important question, what did this document teach you about the period you are studying? I'm going to act like I don't know things, because I obviously I made this class and I chose for us to read this document, but maybe I'm approaching this document for the first time, I look over it, and what did this document teach me? I mean, I can even say this kind of taught me something even this year as a historian. The document was pretty short and plain for such a huge change in U.S. law. I mean, like, the whole South operated off of slavery. That's how the whole economy worked. And then, like, in 2 sentences, they're like, slavery is illegal everywhere. So I found that pretty interesting. And then maybe the lack of specifics can cause some problems in the future, because it says Congress shall have the power to enforce this article. How is Congress going to do that? I kind of have more questions. So I'm going to say something to the effect of laws. I learned that the federal government had the power to enforce this law, but it was not made specific exactly how they would enforce this law. So yeah, that's like another interesting thing that I kind of took away from this document, reading it around. Like, of course, I knew that this banned slavery, like I remember from like middle school, but I didn't know that it also gave the federal government, aka Congress, the power to change or the power to enforce this law. I found that very interesting. So that kind of expanded my horizons and understanding of the time period of Reconstruction. So I know the federal government is going to play a large part in getting rid of slavery or enforcing the idea that slavery is legal because that is now a federal government right, not a state right, as stated right here. Final thing, limitations. This is the hardest part, so let's look. Pitfalls of the source under study for the historian. Basically, the way that I would put this one is, what do you wish you could learn about Reconstruction that this document is not able to give to you? I got a lot of things. Laws are good. They help me understand what happened. But I kind of like to know what the people think and like the everyday person. Like, for example, if I wanted to learn about the time period of COVID-19, I wouldn't only rely on documents like the law documents that were made by like the president and stuff, like Operation Warp Speed, to learn about like the vaccines. I would not be reading like dry documents like this. To really understand the period of COVID-19, I'd have to read those dry documents to understand the government side of things. But I'd also want to like know the mindset of people at that time of like COVID-19, for example. Like, how were people feeling? How did people's lives change? That's kind of what I'm going to write for here. Law documents fail to get at the feelings of the regular people. How did people react to this law? Was it popular? Did it experience resistance from southern states? Like, what if southern states actually supported this? I don't know. This document doesn't really tell me. It doesn't say like what the vote tally was, who voted for what. So that's kind of a good question. How did people's lives change after slavery was banned? That's cool that slavery is banned, but what did that mean for former slaves? Where did they work? This document doesn't answer any of those questions. I don't expect it to. I'm just saying these are follow-up questions I have to ask if I really want to understand the time period of Reconstruction. Okay, that's just kind of how you walk through them. You just basically use the slideshow and follow that similar format, ask yourself those questions, and fill in the essential boxes. And then you guys are going to be filling out either the Mississippi Black Codes or the Freedmen's Bureau image. You guys are going to be doing that for this class as well. One or the other. You can do both, but all I require for you to do is one, and then you're going to be finishing, you're going to wrap this up, fill in these boxes, either this row, or both rows, like I said, you can, and you're going to be turning it into Google Classroom. And that's basically all you're doing for class. Again, you have a sub today, so please be respectful. Thanks for your time. I'll put everything up here, and have a good morning.